Hello, my name is Michelle and welcome to the WorkMan application. WorkMan is a Windows 10 desktop application that allows for the simple creation, maintenance, and tracking of workflows. As we reviewed in video 2, My First Workflow, WorkMan can be boiled down into 3 simple steps. First, drawing your flow. Next, customizing your data. And finally, adding users. In today's video, we'll focus on the advanced aspects of adding users. Specifically, how to add and use special users. There are 3 types of special users available in WorkMan. The workflow initiator, which will send a work item to the user who initiated the workflow. We also have state users, which will send your work item to the user who took an action in a specific state. And finally, our dynamic users. And this is really interesting. You can send the work item to a specific user which you've selected using the user selection data form field. And we're going to cover all of that in this video. Now let's get started by opening up WorkMan. To best demonstrate special users, I will select on my previously created workflow, Flower Shop Orders. I'll select Edit Workflow, and here we are. As you can see, there are a number of employees that I've assigned to each step in this workflow. However, in some instances, we may want our workflow to be a bit more dynamic and send work items to specific users based on past actions they've taken in the workflow. For instance, perhaps you would want the person who initiated the workflow or started the workflow to also be the person to check the inventory. That way we're not waiting around. The person who's taken the order, in this case, can go ahead and immediately start the work. And this is a great example of when you want to use a special user. So simply navigate down to the bottom left of your screen, select the special user icon, and drag it to the step. There we go. And in this case, we want to select the workflow initiator user type, and then select Add. All right, so now whoever initiates our workflow, who's ever taking the order in our little flower shop, will be the person assigned to check the inventory and make sure that the flowers are available that are being requested. Now, another good example is when you have multiple employees assigned to a particular step, and you want whomever took an action in the previous step to receive the work item again. So in this case, we can say, after the person checks the inventory, if it's not available, well, they should go ahead and pick up the phone and buy those flowers. And this is another great example of when you want to use a special user. So we'll go ahead and click and drag it to this step. Now, in this case, the user is based on the check inventory step. It's based on this state. So we want to use the state user. And then we select our state, which in this case is check inventory. So now when we do this, if the user checks the inventory and records the action that the flowers are unavailable, and we'll move on to this step, and then that same person will get the work item and be told to go ahead and purchase those flowers. All right. So finally, you might find yourself needing to assign a specific user to a task, and this can be done in 2 steps. First, navigate to the data form by clicking on the data form icon here. Now that you're here in the data form builder, you just want to make sure that your form has a user selection field, and our form does. As you can see, this delivery personnel field here is a user selection field and will allow you to search for a user and assign them that specific task. All right, so the next step is to go ahead and make this step a special user. So again, select the special user icon, drag it to your step. In this case, our step is to deliver flowers. We want to go ahead and assign a specific person to be that delivery personnel. All right, and then you select the dynamic user type, and that will allow you to select the name of your user selection field that you have in your data form, which for us is delivery personnel. All right, and with that, we have all of our special users. So we'll take a look and publish this workflow and see how it works now that we've kind of made this a little bit more dynamic. All right, so I'll select the play button, publish our workflow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sign out and sign in as one of our Flower users that use this workflow. So I'll sign out. And I'm going to go ahead and sign in as Ryan Flowers here. All right, so as Ryan, I'm going to go to my Flower Shop orders and initiate a new workflow. And in this case, we've got our order today. The arrangement type is a thank you flower arrangement, and they would like some roses. All right, so I'll just keep it simple. Just to recall, the next step is to check inventory, and because we have that special user there, instead of sending the work item to all of the employees in our flower shop, it will instead just send it back to me so I can go ahead and check that inventory. All right, and here we are. It's in the check inventory step, and it's in my inbox. All right, so we'll go ahead and just to kind of demonstrate, we'll say that, the roses are unavailable. We've checked our inventory. And again, another use of that special user. So if we say that the inventory is unavailable, we are going to be tasked with going ahead and buying those flowers. So I'll send this off. And again, you can see we're in the buying flowers step, and we have our work item, and it's up to us to get those flowers. So we're going to go ahead and move this task along and purchase the flowers. All right, so in this particular workflow, and I'll just take a peek at it to remind us, we have 4 different personnel that can arrange the flowers, but we can go ahead and imagine that, Ryan here is a little busy. He's already done a lot for the day, so we'll sign out of his account, and I'll sign in as Jessica, and she can go ahead and arrange our flowers in this example. All right, so here I am. I'm signed in as Jessica Flowers. You can see that down in the bottom right. I'm going into my flower shop, orders, workflow, and here is that arrange flowers task. So I'll go ahead and take on this task. Great. So our final special user to go ahead and take a look at is going to be that dynamic user, which is based off the user selection form, which in our case we call delivery personnel. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and have myself deliver these flowers. So we'll search my name, Jones, and I'll click the search here. Yeah, lots of Michelle Joneses, but here's my account, and there I am added here as the specific delivery personnel for our arrangement. So I'll go ahead and complete the arrangement and select submit. And as we expect, as Jessica, we have an empty inbox, nothing left to do for the day. But once I sign in as myself, I'm going to see that delivery task. All right, here we are, flower shop orders, and here it is. That work item is assigned to me, and I'm going to go ahead and send it in to its final destination to the customer. Right, so as you can see, using special users in your workflow can be really helpful. It allows you to automatically assign tasks based on the initiator of the workflow, who executed a particular step, and even based on the user selected in your data form. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the WorkMan application.